wouldn't be the first day of corn planting if all the bells and whistles weren't making bells and whistles. Shut up! I'm trying to think!
Well, if this is any indication of how 2023 is gonna go, I'm fucking out.
Pay homage or case vomit, ungrateful niggas I don't like.
A fuck nigga, that's that shit I don't like.
Bang bang.
A snitch nigga, that's that shit I don't like.
Bang bang.
A bitch nigga, that's that shit I don't like.
Bang bang.
Sneak nigga, that's that shit I don't like.
Hey, I'm passing my grandma's house, so I should be there pretty soon. I reckon I just passed me Mom Peepaw's house. I'll be there in 2 shakes of a coontail.
We don't choose to shoot people. They choose for us to shoot them. And if you choose for us to shoot at you, we're going to shoot at you a lot.
I want to share with you a piece of forestry history that we have here in the woods on our family farm in southeast Georgia. It's called a cat face. It's a relic of the turpentine industry, which was an industry that collected pine gum or pine sap from pine trees and turned it into turpentine and pitch and tar and a lot of other products. They would carve, the woods workers would carve streaks, these streaks in the tree in kind of a V shape to funnel the sap as it ran from the tree down into some kind of a receptacle. And so the V shape sort of looked like whiskers or looked like a cat face. That's how these came to be known as cat faces. And because the resin was collected through these cat faces, the wood of the face became super saturated with pine resin. And so it's fat lighter wood now and is highly resistant to rot. And so it's still here, even though most of the tree that this was carved into has long ago rotted away. So how long has this cat face been here? Well, it's hard to be sure, but in these woods we also find clay hurdy cups. This is what was used to collect the pine gum from the cat face, and you can see it had a hole in it. The hole went over the nail like this, and then the hurdy cup hung below these gutters, and the gutters would funnel the pine gum into the pot. Workers would come along, remove the clay pot, pour this into a barrel and carry it off through the woods with them to a wagon and pour it into a larger barrel. So the Hurdy cup was invented in 1903 and patented, and it revolutionized the turpentine industry until aluminum cups and trays came along and replaced them starting in the 20s and 30s. So we're not really sure, how long this cat face has been here, but somewhere around 100 years or more that this cat face has been here and that these clay cups have been in the woods. Suffice it to say that the men who carved these cat faces and worked these woods are probably long gone.
Watch this. Beep, 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 my BFF. Cause I DK what's coming next. And I'll be Ellen Major with the rest. So TTYLXOX. Beep, 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 my BFF. Cause I DK.
I didn't choose the redneck life, no, the redneck life chose me. Yeah, I didn't choose the redneck life chose me. What you see is what you get, and what you get is what you see. I take a Mountain Dew over a silver spoon any old day of the week. I didn't choose the redneck life chose me. Oh, get on it, son. Everything is better with some cows around. Living in town sometimes brings me down. Let me bestow this western blessing and share what I have found. May you always.
Hey, I noticed you're beating yourself up and not giving yourself any credit for all the shit you're doing today. Waking up, being a part of all this, that's a lot of work. You deserve a little treat. You deserve a little pat on the back from you. If you're having a hard time being your biggest fan, here are some prizes from me. Here's one hug, one kiss on the cheek. And here's a sticker. This shit is hard, but you're here. And you know you better keep it up, cutie, because I'm so frickin' proud of you.
I don't even want to know. But it's okay. It's perfectly okay. We got it. Nothing you can do, we can't get you out of it.
So, I called a parent this morning. I've been threatening this kid. I said, if you don't start acting right, I'm going to call your mama. Well, he informed me today that it didn't matter if I called his mama because she wouldn't do nothing to him. I called the mama. And I started telling her, I said, your son, I've been trying my best to work with him, trying to tell him not to jump, do this, move around and all that, but he won't listen. She said, is that so? So then I said, and he also told me that if I called you, you'd do nothing about it. I said, are you there? Oh, I'm here. Where is he at? I felt all of my soul start quivering. I said, he's already got off the bus and went to class. She said, I've been paying him a visit before class starts. This morning, another girl, she was eavesdropping. She said, oh, he dead. He dead today. I know his mama, he dead.
To anyone thinking about starting a ranch, make sure you really love your husband, because working cattle with him, it's going to lead to flash anger and lots of swear words, and that's a fact.
I've ridden the fear, although I was afraid every single time. I've learned that every waking moment is enough, and excess never leads to better things. It only piles and piles atop the things that are already abundantly in front of you, like breathing and chasing and slow dancing and love making, fighting and laughing. I am unhinged, unworthy, and distasteful to mostly everyone I meet. However, I am loyal to a fault to anyone I find kindness in. I do not and will not fear tomorrow, because I feel as though today has been enough. And I got no hate in my heart for anything, anywhere, or anyone.
Everybody always thinks it's always a white man cutting hay. Hello, boys, I'm black.
What is happening?
Well, we're chicken fishing. Get you a big old spoon or spinner, take the hook off of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're doing on rainy days, take go fishing for real.
Come on, fat legs. Come on. Come on, fat legs. Come on, Nugget. It's the whole heart going. There we go. That's the color it is. Give him the pecket.
Couldn't catch me a golly whopper, so I gotta go for
Come on, Nugget.
Oh, we got it. It's better than crappie.
Honestly, if it makes you happy, it doesn't have to make sense to anyone else.
Tell me something, girl. Are you happy in this modern world? Or do you need more? All eyes on me. Horrified looks from everyone in the room, but
I've made my peace with God. I ain't afraid to die. If something's gonna kill me, might as well be what makes me feel alive.
I see trees of green, red roses too.
I'll make a cup of coffee for your head. They'll get you up and going out of bed.
Yeah, I don't wanna fall asleep, I don't wanna pass away. I've been thinking of our future, cause I'll never see those days. I don't know why this has happened, but I probably deserve it. I tried to do my best, but you know that I'm not perfect. I've been praying for forgiveness, you've been praying for my health. When I leave this earth, hoping you'll find some.
I may not be a smart man, but I know something's fucked up when I see it.
Honey, just put your sweet lips on my lips. We should just kiss like real people do.
Eat a 2-week-old unrefrigerated pie. John Wayne.
The table of the working man, where the working man does his best to provide safety and shelter for kids and a wife, giving a little of a soul every day, making overtime to keep the wolves away.
Tell me something, girl. Are you happy in this modern world? Or do you need more? Is there something else you're searching for?
Un, deux, trois, quatre.
One reason, probably the main reason, our kids don't come back to the farm is because we don't make it enjoyable for them. I'm guilty of it. I used to give my boys the crap jobs, and then I expected them to be perfect at it and do it all the time. I should have let them drive the tractor a little more often, maybe the four-wheeler a little more often. Maybe I should have taken on some of those busy work jobs and not always giving it to them. Well, they got to earn their keep. Yeah, well, then you lose them and they don't want to work on the farm at all. You don't want to work a job you don't like, neither do they. I did it to my boys, and I can think back on times that I regret. You know what? I hope you don't. If you have young kids and you're working them on your farm, you got to make it enjoyable for them. Maybe not all the time, but most of the time. Figure out a way where they're excited to go do something. Well, what are we going to do on the farm today, Dad? I don't know. I'm thinking about letting you drive the tractor today. I'll load the branches. You drive the truck, I'll stack the hay. It's worth you doing some of that crap work, you doing some of the stuff you don't really want to do to keep them around. You'll want them there later. And if you're not careful, they ain't never coming back.
Get away from my fishing hole, devil lizard! Ah! Be gone! Be gone!
No fucking fucking ranger! Farm ranger! I know this truck. I ain't no stranger. I know that truck. That's the Ford fucking ranger! Fucking ranger! Ford ranger! Damn!
Money cannot buy you happiness. Never. Never buy a 17-foot hunk of aluminum, baby. That's all I got to say.
Here's a list of things that kids these days will never understand. Nowadays, you can pause a TV. You remember back in the day when you couldn't pause a TV and the commercial would come on and you would run a 4-2 flat to the bathroom and you'd piss so hard because you're trying to get it all out that you damn near had a fucking aneurysm? Your old lady go to screaming, it's back on, it's back on. You about pull a hammy trying to get back out there. Nowadays, if you take a picture and you don't like it, you can just retake it. But boy, let me tell you something. Back in my day, you took a picture and you just had to pray to God because you ain't know what the hell you was gonna get. Being CVS 2 weeks later getting them developed talking about some, oh, we gonna have to retake it. Hell, Jerry's missing half his face. You can see Larry's ass crack. The baby's got a cigarette. Who gave the damn baby a cigarette? Nowadays, you hear a song you like on the radio, you can Google it, look up the lyrics, YouTube it, whatever you want to do. In my day, you heard a song you liked on the radio, it went off, and that was it. And you ain't know when the hell you was gonna hear that song again. Y'all remember taking your phone and recording a section of the song to make it your ringtone? Kids these days, they're fancy laptops and MacBooks. Man, I remember back in the day, we had one of those old school computers, man. Imagine trying to start that thing up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Trying to be quiet so your parents don't hear you and go, it sound like a fucking orangutan making love to a chalkboard. I got caught every time. I remember when McDonald's used to have playhouses. McDonald's was like, yeah, come on down here and get your burger, let the kids play, man. Nowadays, it's like, yeah, welcome to McDonald's, come get your food and get the fuck out. Hell, they even took it a step further and stopped fixing the ice cream machine. Why does McDonald's always try to be fancy? Talking about Filet-O-Fish. Try our new Filet-O-Fish. Bitch, that is a fish sandwich, okay? Where'd you catch that thing? In the Gulf during the BP oil spill? Remember MySpace? I remember I joined MySpace and Tom was my first friend, you know what I mean? He was everybody's first friend, you know, straight straight up cool dude, and then Facebook came around and we all just ditched this dude. Tom even ended up getting a Facebook. He tried to send me a friend request. Hell nah, it was never that deep, Tom. Nowadays, these kids all got phones. They just text each other, play games with each other. You know how we used to check in on each other when we were kids? We just showed up to your crib, man. We just showed up front door like a lost puppy and drank all the Kool-Aid jammers.
I think that we need to start showing and normalizing homesteads that are just that, like they're normal. They're not straight out of Pinterest. They're just built and put together by things you have laying around and things you're recycling and not letting things go to waste. And I'm gonna show you what I mean.
How many of you remember the good old days? The good old days when boys were boys and girls were girls and you could tell the difference just by fucking looking. The good old days when school started the morning with the national anthem and the Lord's Prayer, where there was a boys' bathroom and a girls' bathroom, and there was no such thing as a fucking litter box in the corner. Those were the days when men had core values because we knew it was our inherent duty to stand up for the ladies and the children. That was our fucking duty. That's when men knew what honor and integrity and fucking loyalty and fortitude were. Those were the days when if you weren't feeling like you could make it amongst men, you had to try a little fucking harder. You didn't get to go out and join the other fucking team, crack women's skulls and break all kinds of fucking records. Unfucking believable what's happening in front of us right now. But now you're going after the kids. All of this fucking bullshit's gotta stop. And it's up to the men in this fucking country to take a fucking stand, to grab some fucking balls and stand up for what's right. Remember what your fucking inherent duty is. And we as men who know who the fuck we are in this world and in this life, we better take a fucking stand, because it's our grandkids that are gonna fucking suffer if we don't. I love each and every one of you, and I strongly fucking believe that every person in this world has the right to live the life they want. But you do it behind closed fucking doors, and you don't get to include the fucking kids in it anymore.
Rednecks ain't scared of recession or inflation. The beta male Starbucks drinkers are shaking in their boots. Folks I know ain't too scared. Bubba's not waking up in the morning wondering, are Biden's policies going to affect my deer season or the bass biting? Turns out, a bass hits a worm during a recession just as hard as it does during an economic boom. So our freezers are going to be full. Rednecks ain't worried because we have hoarding tendencies. We reuse and repurpose everything. Plus, we've been ready for the apocalypse since January 20th, 2009. Truth is, you can drop 10,000 nuclear bombs on us right now, and the last thing on planet Earth is going to be McDonald's, fire ants, and rednecks. You step on our hose, we'll just reroute it. You cut our supply, we're going to make our own. You come at us, you better bring something stronger than 87,000 IRS agents armed with vegan sandwiches and a squirt gun. We got Jimmy Earl and Cousin Ray Ray who know how to keep the Redneck Underground going 365 days a year. And we ain't scared.
This one, okay,
People are like, oh my God, you're hot. And I'm like, I'm Republican. What did you expect? Some Joe Biden shit?
We need more sheriffs like this.
Sheriff, you mentioned the gun. Do we know how the suspect got a hold of the weapon?
Car burglaries. Car burglaries.
Yeah. Ain't that right? All the gun laws we got in place didn't prevent it, did it? Neither will any new ones. Because here's the fact. The bad guy's going to get a gun no matter what law you have put in place. These juveniles shouldn't even possess a handgun, but they did.
We just need more gun control laws. I'm pretty sure they're called criminals because they don't follow the law.
I'm sorry, we have the designer, expensive, bougie coochie.
You've got a lot of balls, no pun intended, saying that you have the designer. I don't know where you come from, but when anything is made as a replica of the original, it's called a knockoff. Purses, shoes, clothes, coochie. Expensive knockoff, expensive. Probably well made. Still a knockoff. Replica. Original. Not designer. Not designer.
To you, the unvaccinated. Even if I were pollinated and fully vaccinated, I would admire the unvaccinated for withstanding the greatest pressure I've ever seen. From partners, parents, children, friends, colleagues, and even doctors. People who are capable of such personality, courage, and critical ability are undoubtedly the best part of humanity. They are everywhere, in all ages, levels of education, states, and ideas. They are of a special kind. They are the soldiers that every army of light wants to have in its ranks. They are the parent that every child wants to have, and the children that every parent dreams of having. They are beings above the average of their societies. They are the essence of the people who have, built all cultures and conquered horizons. They are there, next to you. They look normal, but they are superheroes. They did what others could not. They were the tree that withstood the hurricane of insults, discrimination, and social exclusion. And they did it because they thought they were alone. And they believed that, they were the only ones. Banned from their families' tables at Christmas, they never saw anything so cruel. They lost their jobs, let their careers sink, had no more money, but they didn't care. They suffered immeasurable discrimination, denunciation, betrayal, and humiliation, but they kept on going. Never before in humanity has there been such a casting. Now, we all know who are the best on the planet Earth. Men, women, young, old, rich, poor, of all races or religions, the unvaccinated, the chosen of the invisible ark, the only ones who managed to resist when everything collapsed. That's you. You passed an unimaginable test that many of the toughest Marines, commandos, Green Berets, astronauts, and even geniuses could not withstand. You are made of the stuff of the greatest who ever lived.
The other argument that I hear a lot is that, these people want these guns to protect themselves against the U.S. government.
Yes. It's almost like that's one of the main reasons that the Second Amendment actually exists.
Sir, what? The U.S. government has tanks and drones and a nuclear arsenal. What do you think you're going to do with your gun that shoots fast?
Well, in this hypothetical situation, I imagine doing something, or rather anything, would be far more effective than doing what one is seeming to imply doing, which would be nothing.
You are being goofy. That is a goofy argument. Just admit that you want your fancy gun because it makes you feel like a manly man.
Notwithstanding the fact that it's not just men that own firearms and support the Second Amendment, one might not be aware that a well-thought-out and planned strategy is often more than a match for what some may consider insurmountable odds in battle, and if one is needing something to reference in regards to the truthfulness of this, I suggest reviewing the actions of the Founding Fathers.
It's the good
bullets and it's the glory. 100 stripes, 100 stories. It's the Pledge of Allegiance on the 4th of July. It's them handwritten letters from home. It's them sleepless nights alone. It's his newborn. Standing tall, 'cause you are the reason why I'm standing out. Because without your love, who knows where I'd be? You changed my life, it's true. What did you do to me? 'Cause you are the reason why I'm still hanging on. 'Cause you